Hi friends! Welcome to today's weekly in-depth pick a card reading. So each week I start out my personal work week, which tends to be on Fridays, with an in-depth reading on what's happening to you this week, what energies are going on in your life right now, what's present in your life, and we'll go diving very deep into the cards to try to get some answers. So most of the week I put on my quicker videos that I can do a reading very quickly and give you some quick insights for whatever you need during that day and whatever topic I'm choosing. These I leave a little bit more general and I let them be a lot longer so that we can really dive in together and find out what's going on in your life, what maybe some tips and insights might be, and what are some ways for you to move forward with where you are. So in a moment, I'm going to play for you a nature meditation to just get you into the mood of being present in the moment. And then after that, we will dive into your specific reading. I'll show you all the piles up close so you can choose them. And then from there, you can choose where in the reading is your reading. Without further ado, I'm going to give you to the nature meditation to sit and look at some nature, calm your mind, and then you'll be free to choose which pile is your pile. So thank you so much for tuning in with me today. I deeply appreciate it. I'd like to thank, as always, all of my YouTube subscribers. My channel is growing so much faster now than it has ever grown, and I'm so excited to grow with you. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I would love to hear from you in the comments afterwards. So thank you so much. Peace. Pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, pile number 4, pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, pile number 4, pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, pile number 4. Hi there, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. So you chose this pile with the beautiful lapis lazuli stone, one of my absolute favorites. It's all about being in your own personal power and connecting to your own sense of your own divinity, your own personal royalty, right? It's great. I love it. So I've got a bunch of different cards for you. I've got a rune stone, and I've got some tarot and some oracle cards as well. So we're going to set the oracle cards aside for now and dive into the tarot first. But before we do that, actually, I'd like to start with the rune stone. I like starting with the runes. So first up, we have Inus, which most of the time kind of looks more like a DNA strand, a little bit less like a square like mine is. But this rune is a rune of fertility, and it can signify new beginnings. And it's in the sort of sense of, it really reminds me of a DNA strand. And so for that, it tends to talk about new life, regeneration, coming back into a sense of being after maybe some damage, or the creation of new life after something else has happened. So you've got this energy of new life entering into your life this week, pile number 1. So let's kind of see some more with the cards of what it is we're talking about. First up, we have 3 cards from the Raider Waite Smith deck. We've got, okay, the 8 of Pentacles. This is one of my favorites because it just like talks about this sense of work, right? It's just saying that you've put in work and you're putting in the work. And you know, I tend to be a person who works a lot. Sometimes I can be a real workaholic, so I like this one. But you know, it doesn't have to necessarily signify that, but it talks about putting in hard work. So there's an area in your life that you've been working really hard at, and you're actually starting to see some results from it. So it's really kind of encouraging you to keep working, to keep putting in the strength in order to continue moving your circumstances forward. Next up, we have a card. Let's see, I'm just going to move this over here. Next up, we have, ooh, strength. Yeah, stick with it. Whatever you're doing is working. You know, the work that you're putting in, it might be challenging sometimes. It might be difficult. You might have nights where, you know, you just don't know if you can keep going. But the strength card is really telling you to have the strength, that you have the strength to move forward, that you have at your disposal this amazing, beautiful strength here. And what's cool about the strength card is it really talks about this balance between two forces, especially with the Raider Waite Smith deck. It really depicts this. It's not just the lion, right? You don't just have to put in raw power. It's also about the maiden as well. It's taming your lion. It's knowing where to have restraint in order to be, you know, put in even more energy in other places. It's tapping into that idea that there are certain things in your life that need to be backed away from because you only have so much energy, you only have so much focus. So it's sort of like, not only are you putting in this deep strength and working really hard at making something happen, but you also have this connection to knowing where to take breaks, knowing when to rest, knowing when to back off when things need to be backed off from, knowing when to wait for things to happen and not push too hard. So you have both of that present within you, which is really, really beautiful. And like I said, with the Ingus, it's really kind of connecting into this new life that's coming out of that. Final card from the Raider Waite Smith deck, we have the World. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful card. This card tends to be all about this sort of like graduation phase. It's ending a chapter of your life and then beginning the next chapter, but it's not just, it's like completing that last chapter. It's really, really about graduation. You've made something happen. So this week you are kind of, you've been working really hard at trying to bring something to fruition. You've been very, very strong and very balanced in your strength. And now because of that, you're being rewarded towards moving on to the next level. You're leveling up, you're graduating, you're moving on and moving into something new and beautiful and open and you know, the world. You got the world at your fingertips now. It's really, really wonderful energy. One of my favorite cards. Let's keep, I guess I say that for all of them. They're all my favorite cards. But they are, it's true. Next up, we have from the 1JJ Swiss deck. I've got 3 cards from that. First up, we've got the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of Cups. Okay, cool. Yeah, 9 of Cups is great. This is sort of like being in this emotionally fulfilled energy, which is really, really kind and gentle and nice. And sometimes the card, especially in the Raider Waite Smith deck, the facial expression, it's a man who's kind of sitting on his own kind of throne, and he's got these 9 cups behind him, and he's really content. And sometimes people can think of it as a smugness card, but I generally never interpret it that way personally. I think it's like that man had his hard-earned, he earned every single cup that is behind him, and now he is so happy and content to just sit there with his cups and be on his own for a minute, to take a breather. And so I kind of connect it personally to like a sense of self-love. So remembering that it's okay to honor yourself. It's okay to really acknowledge when you've made accomplishments and to be proud of yourself for that, to really congratulate yourself. So I'm really feeling this sense of self-congratulations energy that could be really helpful for you, connecting into your self-love and really tuning in and say, like, look at how far that I've come. Look at how much that I have accomplished. And this week is all about really celebrating that and continuing to move forward. You know, you still have the Eight of Pentacles there. So it's not like it's, you know, you've put in work and you still have more work to do, right? But it's okay to acknowledge that you've come so far, and it's okay to celebrate your strengths, and it's okay to celebrate just how far you've actually come in life, and really tune into that, and be proud of yourself. Be happy for being where you are, and knowing that life is open to you, and that love is present for you, and it's present when you connect into it yourself, when you give yourself love. This card, it really, to me, talks about like giving yourself that extra cup, you know, really cherishing and celebrating all of the energy and work and devotion that you put into yourself, and really being happy about that, being happy for honoring yourself, for honoring your energy, for honoring your being, for honoring you, and really loving you for that. Next up, we have another from the IJJ Swiss deck in the Moon. Okay, interesting. So there may be some things that are a little bit unclear right now. The Moon can talk about not being sure about certain things. It can, because like, you know, when you're moving forward at night with the light of the moon, you can still see the pathway forward, but you're not entirely clear about everything. And I still think that, you know, as you move forward with whatever you're working on, as you continue to put in the work, I still think you might not know entirely what's coming next, and that's okay. This card talks about how that's okay, that there's this trust and this faith that can come in, and because of that, it's also about tuning into your intuition. So this card can talk about deeply connecting to your own intuition, your own sense of self, and really flowing with that, flowing with who you are, flowing with your inner being, connecting to your higher self, connecting to your own internal wisdom that is always present for you. So this card can talk about that, and especially as you connect into this self-love energy from the Nine of Cups, you have a more clearer chance of tuning into your intuition, because you're not blocking your intuition with any kind of negative self-feelings or anything like that. You're more open to the intuitive guidance that wants to come into your life at this moment. Final card from the IJJ Swiss deck, we have the Ace of Cups. Of course we do. Yeah. So this is a new beginning as well. Remember we talked about the Ingu's rune being about this new beginning present for you, this regeneration that's present for you. I think that maybe you've been tired because you've been putting in so much work to close out a chapter in your life, but I think that chapter has been closed, and now you're in this new period, right? With the world here, you're graduating to the next level, and with the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is all about, the Aces are all about new beginnings. They're about the start of a journey, and the Cups themselves are all about emotional fulfillment. They're about love. They're about kindness. They're about emotional contentment, peace, calm, and this card in particular is saying that is now what this next chapter that's opening up to you is about. This week you have opening up into your life this new chapter of living and being and moving through the world that's so connected to this inner love, this inner self-love and peace. And you know, with this cup energy too, it's got, because this is a Swiss deck, it's got the Swiss cross on here, the red cross, but that red cross, as we know, in the West also talks about healing. The red cross is a symbol of international healing and health. So you have that international symbol of health with you as well, you know, that you're in this regeneration. As the Ingu said as well, it's this regeneration kind of rebirth. You're regenerating as you're starting this new phase. So you're coming back into a sense of inner wholeness, basically, from a period of maybe where you were in more of a struggle period, and it's coming from your own strength. And remember, it's not just about pushing, it's also about letting things go, and that balance between those two things. And I think that you're really kind of starting to get that. And you're still putting in work in whatever you're working on, and you're still going to be working really hard, but I think maybe things are going to get a little bit easier for you as you do that, because you're going to get set into a new groove. You're setting yourself into a new rhythm that's really putting your own emotional well-being first, which is important, and that everything that you build can flow from that emotional well-being that's coming. Next up, I'm testing out this deck that I've had for a long time, but I haven't really used it. It's the Hermetic Tarot Deck. So first card from that, we've got the Eight of Wands, which talks about a swift moving action. It's moving very fast in something. So it's just talking about that whatever's happening now, things and actions are going to start coming in really, really quickly. So this new beginning that's here, this new chapter that you're entering into, this phase that's all about your own self-love and your own self-worth and being calm and content and collected in all of that energy, it's coming in fast now. So it's here for you, it's present for you, and it's coming in very, very swiftly, which is really nice. This energy is moving fast, very fast moving energy. And let's continue. Next up from the same Hermetic Tarot deck, we have the Four of Pentacles. Okay, so the Four of Pentacles, it can talk about being safe. First and foremost, it's this sense of safety and being safe. So whatever's going on, you're safe right now, which is great. It's really great to see that and to feel that. So you have this connection into the safety energy here. But more than just that, it also talks about this idea that, sometimes it can talk about being overly protective, overly cautious. In the Raider Waite Smith deck, it's depicted as this man who's kind of going like this with his coins and just like keeping them real close. So it can talk about sometimes like not being trusting to the outside world and really kind of keeping your own sense of self inward. And it can talk about not necessarily needing to do that. So and I get this energy too. I don't know. I think that as you move forward, just remember that you're protected, and that you don't need to be in a sense of fear energy, because you're moving out of that. You're a very strong person. You're moving out of any kind of fear energy, and I think this is also talking about just be aware of the people that you surround yourself with. Be aware of the energies that you surround yourself with. You are safe, but the energy that you're moving into, the swiftness, the self-love to connection in here, just remember that, you don't have to, that it's okay to be on your own for a second. Like, that's kind of what I'm getting from this, that it's okay to be connected to your own sense of self-love and your own sense of self-contentment, in that you can hold that energy for a minute and kind of be in that and not feel obligated to share that with anybody for a minute. And that's okay, that you don't have to necessarily share this with anybody for a moment as you come back into your own sense of calm. I get the sense too that maybe you moved out of kind of a difficult period. You might have been in a difficult period and now you're in this regeneration. And I think that that's coming from maybe being in a, not self-isolating necessarily, but kind of like, knowing what interactions you need. And definitely it's important to interact with other people, but you don't have to interact with everyone. You don't have to continue to push any kind of ideal where you feel obligated to be around literally anyone or everyone, and just be discerning about who you have in your life in this current moment, and what you have in your life, what you're working on, making sure that you're streamlining your approach to whatever you're working on, that everything's kind of going into a certain area and you're moving in a certain direction, and you don't want to have anything kind of throwing a wrench in that, and just, remember that you're protected as you do these kinds of things. Finally, from the final Hermetic Tarot, we've got the Wheel of Fortune. Oh, nice. Great. Yeah. To me, the Wheel of Fortune is always a very positive, fortunate card. It just represents fortune to me when I do my readings. I know that in some more traditional meanings and some other meanings, it can talk about what comes up, must come down, that there's a give and a take, that it could be either or. But I know for me, it's just always positive. It's a positive omen. It's just saying you're on the right track, that fortune is in your favor. You have fortune in your favor this week. As you move forward, as you continue working on whatever you're working on, it's probably some kind of project or business or job or idea or art project or anything, whatever it is that you've been working on, that you're working on, you're really being encouraged to continue that work, that work is really positive for you, that it's really working, whatever you're doing is working, and you might not see all of the results right away. You might not see that your actions are leading to anything in this current moment, but they are. You know, this reading's coming in to tell you that they are, that to retune into your own intuition, maybe go into some quiet meditation, even anything like that, to just really tune into your own intuition. You're going to start seeing these things present for you. And remember that this energy is moving in very quickly, and that you have a very fortunate period coming in for you, and that, you know, you're safe. You know, at the end of the day, that you're safe in what you're doing, and you're safe as you continue to tell yourself that you're safe. You know, that you have that feelings of safety coming into you, and it's going to come in from this sense of self-love, that when you fill your own cup first, you know, when you really tune into your sense of self-love, you really tune into your own inner being and inner light, that's going to help you move forward. Okay, so we're going to tune into the Oracle decks now. First up, it's actually another tarot deck, but I read it more symbols and stuff as well. We've got from the Wild Unknown Tarot, we've got the Two of Cups. Okay, so this is an energy of, it has two meanings. It can either mean uniting with another person. It can talk about love and relationships. But for this reading, and generally how I tend to interpret it is, you know, it's this connection with your own self. It's being intimately connected with all parts of yourself, that you're uniting whatever opposite and opposing forces may exist within you. You're uniting those together to be one complete human being moving forward. And from what I've gotten in here, I really think that as you tune into this self-love, right, you're going to be feeling more whole inside as a person, that you're uniting these maybe seemingly opposing forces within you, and finding out that they're actually parts of the same being, that you're one human being no matter what, that you're one united, connected being, and that even if there's sometimes feeling like you have some parts within you that are divided, or you're against yourself in certain ways, this is talking about coming out of that idea, coming out of that energy, and really uniting with all parts of yourself. Next up we have from the Fairytale Lenormand. I read them more as symbols and less as Lenormand meanings. We've got the book. All right, and it's this grimoire with this magic coming out of it. So, you know, I get that. You know, first up, I was saying it before, you're moving into a new chapter with the World card. It's that changing of a chapter. So I think you're starting a new book even, you know. You finished the old book and now it's time for a new book. And then at the same time, it's connecting to your own inner magic and power, because you look, it's a magic book and all of that magic is coming out of the book pages. So you've got that coming out. You're coming out of this period for yourself of being blocked, and really uniting with your own magic and letting it out into the world. You're letting your own magic into the world. So you're sharing that magic now with everyone, and it's coming from giving to yourself first, though. You know, it's like being your own sense of self-fulfillment, not looking outside of your self-fulfillment, but looking within yourself. And by doing that, you're going to be able to bring forward whatever this project is that you're working on. Maybe you're literally working on a book right now. It's possible. But whatever it is, you know, you're bringing that magic out from within you. You're connecting into your own intuition. And maybe, you know, if you're doing any kind of visionary art project, you're becoming a visionary, which is like the Magician card, which we don't have here, but is reminding me of that idea. You're connecting into the other realms, right? You're connecting into your own muses, your own sense of something, and you're bringing that vision from your imagination into the physical world, and you're sharing that intuition with the world by building whatever it is that you're building up. It's really beautiful. Yeah, so those are those. And now we've got cards from the Shamanic Healing Oracle. So this, I read directly from the book for this, because I think that it's really helpful to hear some other people's words as well as my own as we move forward. Normally I only do 2 of these, but you had 3 come out. So you've got a lot of messages that want to be spoken to you, of just some healing advice as you move into this new week and this new period. First up is psychic development. Yeah, I'm really feeling that. With this intuition, with the moon here, and like I was saying before, if you're working on any kind of creative projects, I'm really getting this sense of like connecting into your own sense of the greater whatever, you know, in life, and really kind of bringing that out. Exactly what I was just saying. So let me read psychic development from the book. The energy and healing work you are doing now will enable you to heighten your sensitivity to the energy around you and others. This will assist you in developing discernment. Discernment is the feeling you get in your body that signals to you whether something feels right or wrong, your sixth sense, your gut feeling. The situation you are inquiring about is asking you to use your discernment. You do not want to take on others' energy, yet you do not want to close yourself off out of fear. This is exactly connecting to this Four of Pentacles energy that I was just talking about. That balance of protecting yourself, but also not closing yourself off from the world. Envision energy flowing through you like water. Take on too much and you can sink. Closing yourself off offers a very different energetic experience. When you let the water energy flow as it will, and neither embrace it or fight it, you are truly in the flow. Remaining in this elevated energetic vibration will allow you to tap into the realms of the psyche. Alternatively, this card can signify a pull to take classes, workshops, or read books. Book about psychic development. Yeah, maybe it's talking about that. I really do think it's talking about getting into that flow energy. And I feel that with you, especially with the moon too. The moon can talk about this watery energy. It connects to the sign of Cancer. So maybe you've got some Cancer energy in your chart. You don't have to, but you might. It's this idea of flowing with things. And I think that you're actually connected into this flow state as you connect into your strength and your work, you know, with that strength balance I was talking about. It's not just about brute force moving forward. It's also knowing about what to let go of, you know, that balance, and it's that flow. I really do feel with this card that you're connecting into this flow, especially with the cups. The cups can talk about flow, and you have 1, 2, 3 cups here. So yeah, flowing with yourself, flowing with that energy, and connecting into this more psychic energy here too is really cool. And learning how to balance between energy forces, knowing when these energy forces are working with you and when they aren't, and moving your energy as you move with it, and that regeneration of the Inus here. Next up from this Shamanic Healing Oracle, we've got honoring your energy. Yeah, that's very important. It's really kind of, you know, that reminds me of this Nine of Cups energy where it's okay to give to yourself, you know, that you're giving back to yourself. It's knowing where you are, and it connects to the Strength card too, of like knowing when to back off, like I was saying before, really knowing what you can do, what you can't do, what's pushing too hard, all of that. Let me read it from the book so you've got their words as well from this. Honoring your energy. We all have those days when we are disinclined to do anything. We try all sorts of mental tricks to talk ourselves into doing what we should be doing. Does this ever work? No. We end up feeling guilty, a very low vibration, for not getting anything done, which causes us to try twice as hard the next day, which causes us to get overwhelmed and exhausted, which then leads to becoming caught up in a vicious cycle. Your body has rhythms, just as everything else on this earth does. Flowers, trees, plants, and the elements. The tides ebb and flow, the sun and moon rise and set, animals hibernate, and flowers grow, bloom, and go dormant. You need to listen to the inherent cycles within you. Rest when you need to. Work when you need to. Do not try to outthink the natural rhythms. Go easy on yourself and reserve judgment. You are your own harshest critic. Yeah, all right. That taps deeply into the Strength card that I was saying about before, right? It's okay if you're not feeling something to take a break from it. It's okay if you know, it's better to take a break when you need it than to try to just keep pushing, because you're not going to feel like you're getting what you need, and it's not going to feel right, and all of that. So it's really about learning how to flow, like that Psychic card was saying too. Flow with the energy, flow with where you are, you know, flow with who you are and what's going on, and just be present for what you need, and be okay. Be loving to yourself regardless of whether, you know, there's going to be weeks where, you know, you feel really in tune and you're really getting it going, and there are going to be weeks where you don't feel that way, and that's okay. You know, it's not, you're going to get back into that flow too. So it's just, remember, if you feel like you're out of the flow at all, You know, you can just take a break, take a breath, take a rest, regroup, and you'll tune right back into it. So don't be hard on yourself. Final card we've got from the Shamanic Healing Oracle. We've got the Perception card. All right, this talks about balancing as well, and this yin and yang symbol here. So it's really all about connecting into a non-dualistic sense of understanding, which is letting go of good and bad, and this is all good and that's all bad, and really coming back into a sense of just that things are, that it's okay for things to just be, and that we don't necessarily have to place value judgments on everything. Let me read it from the book. With energy, sometimes a slight shift in perception is all that's needed. Remember, nature strives to retain balance. It is only our perception and labels that cause us to think otherwise. Is there a situation in your life that you are viewing from a very rigid perspective? Are you certain that you are at the center of all the drama around you? Perhaps cultivating the ability to step outside of the drama and see the issue from every different viewpoint will shift your judgment of this person or situation from intolerable to simply it is. And as it is, it won't remain so for long. Letting go of the tether that holds you to a certain viewpoint also frees your situation to go the natural way to get back into balance. Yeah, so that shoulds, right? And if you feel like you're out of the flow, like I was saying with honoring inner energy just a minute ago, if you feel like you're disconnected, if you feel like you've left it, to get back into that flow, it's all about letting go of your perspective. So it's like, okay, I don't feel like doing anything right now. Instead of saying that's bad and I feel really horrible for not being able to do anything, just say, okay, self, I don't want to do anything right now. That's okay. I'm going to give myself the most relaxing, most spa-inducing break that I can physically possibly give myself, and really give myself the time and the energy to recoup. That's okay. I'm going to give that to myself. And because I give that to myself, then I'm going to find that flow again, and I'm going to be ready to take it off again. And I'm going to be ready to jump back in because I allowed myself to regroup and I didn't look down on myself for needing that time and that space. So anyway, pile number 1, that was my reading for you this week. This was a really great reading. I'm really excited for you. You've got a lot going on, and it seems like it's a really exciting and energetically filled moment. I just get this excitement energy from you, and I'm really, really happy about that. Remember, this is moving in very quickly, so whatever's going on, it's happening fast. And sometimes that fast moving energy can be really exhilarating, and I'm kind of feeling that exhilaration right now with this reading. So that's cool, pile number 1. Yeah. Anyway, that was my reading for you. If you would like a more detailed, specific reading, because this doesn't get super detailed about things, please feel free to go to my website, www.junodrome.com. I have different readings available, private readings at different options, so feel free to check that out and let me know. Like I said in the intro, I'd like to deeply, deeply thank all of my new YouTube subscribers, and also thank all of my subscribers who've been tuning in for me from the beginning. I'm so excited to watch this channel grow, and so excited to continue to grow it with you. So thanks for being a part of this with me. I'm super excited to have you with me. I've got a bunch of fun things planned for the future, so stay tuned with everything. And please subscribe to the channel and comment what you think either way. I love hearing from you. And then if you ever have any suggestions for topics you'd like me to cover in my quick videos, please feel free to let me know. I've already gotten some comments from some people with suggestions, and it's so exciting because I'm going to incorporate those readings into my channel as I move forward, because this is a community for you as much as it is for me. I'm so excited to be able to give you the resources that I have moving forward, to make these readings for you, to do this for you, and I'm incredibly excited to see how that grows and how that works and make that work. I'm trying to make this my full-time job, so thank you for working with me. Thank you for getting private readings, and I've got more options for you to support me coming in the future, so stay tuned. Thanks, pile number 1. Have a wonderful day. See you later. Hey there, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. You chose this reading with the wonderful amethyst stone, really rough amethyst. I have 2 different amethyst stones. I don't know where the other one went, but one of them is smooth and polished, but this one is rough and like, just cut out of the rock, and I kind of love that. So amethyst is really kind of connecting into higher chakras, third eye chakra, connecting into some psychic stuff. So we'll see what that means for you guys. That's exciting. Yeah, so this is your weekly reading. This is kind of a super in-depth, supercharged reading to get you going for this week coming up, and, really tuning into your energies, where you're at, what's going on. So we'll get that whole thing and see. First up, we'll start with the runes. We've got Lagus. Ooh, nice. This one is a great rune. Let's see it there. It means flow. It being in the flow. But it can also indicate like, the symbol itself is literally a fish hook. So it can talk about tools too, and creating the tools necessary to help you in your flowing journey. So it's watery energy, it's movement, it's going with the flow, that kind of, the idea of the Tao in Taoism, which is kind of just like being in that state, that energy of allowing things to happen and just being with it, knowing when to take action, knowing when to move, and just kind of like letting things be, loosey-goosey. Yeah, with that watery energy. So let's see what that's talking about for you. It's nice though. It really indicates movement, which is great. And then, like I said too, I tend to give it that extra dimension of giving yourself the tools to be able to flow in that flow state, building the tools to work with the flow. Yeah. So I've got all of these oracle cards, but I'm going to start with the tarot cards. We have 3 different tarot decks this week, and then a bunch of different oracle cards to finish up the reading with. First up, from the traditional Raider Waite Smith deck, we've got the King of Pentacles. Wow. Okay, the King of Pentacles is a great card. Because it's the culmination. The kings they're the culmination of the whole suit, depending on whatever suit you're talking about. And the pentacles are all about this idea of the material world. They are abundance, physical abundance in any kind, health, the physical world, money. It can definitely be money, but it's not just money, physical stability. So you have this week, you're coming into this week with this energy of actually like ultimate abundance in a certain sense, and just like being the embodiment of that material stability and that material abundance. So you're coming in with that deeply knowledgeable energy of being in your own abundance. The King of Pentacles doesn't have to try. The King of Pentacles just allows, and things occur. He's got this like deeply calm and collected energy, and just allows things to grow. He's got plants literally growing all over him. So he's got this like this calming, allowing energy, and he embraces that sense of allowing things to happen for him, which is beautiful. So let's continue with the cards here. Second, from the Raider Waite Smith deck, you have the King of Wands. Wow, 2 kings. Wow, okay, so you definitely got this deep regal energy this week, which is beautiful. And the wands are all about your passions and your drive, right? So they're about manifesting, making things happen, chasing your dreams, going after the things that light you up in life. And so to have that connected with the pentacles as well, to me, it's really kind of talking about being in this sense of manifestation, manifesting abundance. That this week, maybe you've been working on trying to bring abundance into your life. Maybe you've been working on manifestation. Maybe you've been working on connecting to your own dreams and hopes and goals. And that is actually going to be paying off a lot this week. That being in this energy of, you know who you are, you know what you want, you know how to make it happen. You're moving in that way. And there's nothing that anybody can say to you this week to really push you off that. And you're in the flow, right? With the Lagus rune, you're in that flow state. Wow, this is powerful. It feels a little bit like pile number 1 too. So maybe if you felt connected to pile number 1, we'll see with the rest of these cards, because I don't really know yet. So, but maybe. Yeah, but a very regal energy, very much like this idea that nobody can talk you out of you right now. You know more than anybody else. You probably don't even need me to be telling you this right now, because you know. And nobody can deter you from that right now when you're in this energy. It's very stable energy, very regal. So yeah, let's keep going. We've got, okay, well, there we go. Nine of Swords, which is talking about worries and anxiety. She's waking up from these nightmares. I don't know. I think that maybe you're letting that anxiety go, honestly, because of these two. I got to see more cards first, but when you're in this anxious energy, the swords are all about the mental body and the mental sphere. And so it's all about what's happening in the mind. And maybe you're somebody with a history of anxiety, to get this anxiety card out, where, you've just felt like you can get connected into that energy of dis-ease. But this week, with these two kings here, with the pentacles and the wands, it's almost saying that maybe you're breaking out of being in that energy, and maybe it's like you're learning how to not, how I was saying nobody can talk this person out of it. Nobody can talk you out of it. You do know. And I think that you can't even talk yourself out of it this week. That you're setting your own anxieties aside in order to really tune into this king energy that's present within you, to tune into, where can I build abundance in my life? Where can I follow my dreams in my life? And how can I let go of the anxious things and the things in my life that are holding me back? Next up, we have 3 cards from the, 4 cards, actually, you got an extra, from the IJJ Swiss deck. Let's see what we got here. We've got the Hermit. Okay, so that's asking you to kind of go alone, to go within, to tune into your own inner self. And it might mean not necessarily totally self-isolating, but it might mean kind of taking a break from some other people for a minute, moving out of being surrounded by lots of people for a moment, and really tuning into your own self. That maybe that's kind of how, in order to tune into your own inner King of Wands and King of Pentacles, and to let go of this anxiety, maybe this anxiety is actually being brought on by, feeling obligated to do things with other people, feeling obligated to do things for other people, feeling obligated to think a certain way because that's how the people that you're surrounded with are thinking. And the Hermit is kind of encouraging you to back off from that a little bit, back off from anyone else a little bit, back off from being attached to anyone, really tune back into your own self. And once you do that, you'll tune into these kings, and you won't have to worry about anything. You won't have to worry about your own sense of anxiety when you're tuned into this flow, right? The flow state. Anxiety can help kind of wrench you out of the flow. And remember, we're talking about tools that can help you keep in the flow with that Logos as well. So some of the tools that are being presented to you, one of them is meditation, even going alone, being on your own for a moment, and going back and meditating, coming back into self, centering yourself, coming back into your sense of self, coming back into a sense of presence, of being, coming back into the present. And that can come from, going alone and going within. That inner light, that the torch that he's holding, the lantern he's holding, represents your own inner light, your own inner divinity. So kind of coming back into that sense is going to be really helpful for you. Next up, we've got the another one from the IJJ Swiss deck. We've got the King of Wands again. Wow. You are really tapped into your own inner power, your own sense of dreams and passions and desires and manifestation, your drive to make things happen. You're so tuned into that this week. And that's going to come from maybe kind of going within to connect to this. Because whenever a card comes up twice in a reading, that is really indicating that the whole reading, the one message that they really, really want you to take away from this reading, the one that's most important, is this one. And that's the King of Wands. That you are the King of Wands. You are able to manifest your dreams. You are able to tune in to your own inner light, your own inner being, your own inner passions, and your own inner drives, and you're able to make that happen. You're able to tune in, see what it is, and just push and make it happen. And you're being encouraged to do that. that's something that's deeply possible for you, and here for you this week in particular. Next up, we've got the Temperance card. All right, this is great. First up, it's an angel, so I don't know if you work with angels at all, if you believe in angels, or if you have any kind of angel symbolism going on. If you do, you know, those are always open entities or beings or abilities or things that are present within you, energies that are present within you that you can tune into and work with, and you might be encouraged to do that. But if you don't want to take that interpretation from it, this also talks about mixing things together. You see she's flowing these two containers together in order to build and create something brand new. She's mixing forces together in order to build and create a new thing, something completely brand new. And to me, it always means this kind of making lemonade out of lemons, like, right? That notion where you don't have to let things get to you that might seem like they're bad, right? Like things that may have thrown you in the past and thrown you into this anxiety energy. Instead of letting that happen, take whatever the thing is that's going to come in and tune into your own King of Wands, who's this master manifester. Tune into that energy instead and say, okay, what can I do with this? What can I make with this? What can I learn from this? What is the situation teaching me? What is the situation showing me that's going to help me reach my goals? That's going to help me go to where I want to be? And by tuning into that hermit energy too, it's like going within for those answers. Don't ask other people for those answers. Try to tune in for yourself. Like, you have present within you the ability to move yourself into whatever situation you need. Final card from the IJJ Swiss deck, we've got the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, and that's really connecting you back in with that King of Pentacles energy here too. This week is all about tapping into that abundance energy. You've got a new beginning. The aces are all about new beginnings and starts. They're the beginning of the deck, the beginning of the suit. And so with this Ace of Pentacles here, to me, it's really talking about this idea of having that be within you, that you have the ability to tune into your own sense of abundance and really generate that within you. And that even if you feel like you've been stuck in this anxiety energy, that you have the tools at your disposal with this Temperance card to transform that energy into your passions and your drives and your abundance energy. Because that's really, with it being here, 4 cards talking about that, it's that connection of, like, I think that you're connecting into what you feel you need to do for you. This kind of like, you know, some readers talk about this as a sense of a higher purpose, which I can feel, sometimes I feel like it's a bit of a loaded sentence. I do think we all have something that we need to do in this life. You know, I think that we come into life with a sense of needing something to be, but I don't think that it necessarily has to be a job, you know, like it doesn't have to necessarily be that, right? Like, I think that some people come into this lifetime needing a vacation, you know what I mean? Maybe this is your vacation lifetime, and it's really just all about you finding the right place to relax, and that you just don't want to tap into that relaxing energy for the rest of your life, and that's what life is for you. Like, I think that's somebody's higher purpose, you know what I mean? So I don't want to tap into that loaded phrase here when I'm working on this, but I do feel like you're tapping into whatever that inner drive is for you, whatever that thing that you need to do, that your being needs to do. You're tapping into that with this Pentacles and Wands double whammy here. And, you know, you may have been stuck for some time. You may have been stuck in something, in this anxiety energy, but by going within and tuning within and finding what it is that thing is, I think that's what's happening for you this week. You're finding the flow. This is the tool that's going to allow you to tap into that flow state and that flow energy. And by doing that, you'll start to see how you can transform any circumstances that are present within your life currently that aren't working. You're going to see how to transform and transmute and move those energies around so that it's actually working for you and not against you. Next up we have from the Hermetic Tarot Deck. I haven't really used this that often, but I had it in my cabinet and my hand-drawn deck I'm using for other purposes right now. So we're just going to use this right now and tune in with this energy. So we've got the Six of Pentacles. And the thing about the Six of Pentacles is it talks about this idea of a balance, of a give and a take. It's all about this kind of give and take energy. And what's kind of neat about it is it can go both ways. So in the traditional Raider Waite Smith deck, it's depicted as a man who has this scale and he's donating to the poor. The poor are getting money from him. And so it talks about help, and it can be one of two ways: going to others and asking for help, and that it's always okay to ask for help. And then it can also be talking about being in a position to give back, giving to others, helping other people when you're able to and you have the ability. So it can really be a little bit of both of those things. And I think for you in this situation that there are resources available to help you with this temperance as well. You know, like I said, you have to go within to try to see these things, and I think that they're coming to you. But I think that you're going to be tuning into that energy, and it's going to show you that there are resources available that you can go and ask advice from too. You can go to others for some advice, but then also at the same time that maybe you will start to become, as you tap back into this inner drive and this inner energy, you'll be able to help other people as well. And then you'll be more in a sense of balance as well. You know, you'll be in this inner connectedness, this inner balance, this inner energy source. Next up from the Hermetic Tarot, we have the Two of Cups. Okay, neat. That one came up for the last pile as well. So I do think this is a little bit similar to pile number one, but it's completely different energy. So you don't necessarily have to check that one out. But the Two of Cups, it talks about this idea of coming together. It can either be coming together with another person, like a romance or a romantic relationship, and balancing forces between the two of you. But more often than not, for me, when this comes up, and in your reading in particular, I'm feeling this, it's talking about this idea of uniting different parts of yourself together, which is really kind of tuning back into this temperance energy as well, of any kind of opposing forces that may exist within you. It's coming into a sense of balance between those, flowing those things together, and becoming more in a sense of your own inner attunement and own inner alignment, and really kind of tuning back into your own sense of self here. I'm really getting that sense here. So it's really working with yourself. It's really kind of anything that's present within you that may be on one level kind of dividing you. It's really kind of bringing those divisions back together so that you're one whole united being as you're moving forward. And I think it's kind of uniting those two energies of drive and material world. It's like bringing in any kind of thing that you want to have happen and then imagining that and then making it happen physically. It's kind of like uniting those two opposites. Final card from the Hermetic Tarot, we've got the Princess of Pentacles, which is the Page of Pentacles. Yeah. Okay, so another Pentacles royal card. So, you know, you had two royal wands and now you have two royal pentacles. The pentacles connects back into that Ace of Pentacles as well, because the pages are also the new journey. They're the new beginning. They're the start of something. They're just starting on their journey, and it's starting in the Pentacles journey. So it's all about this, like, beginning a new journey within yourself for your own sense of material abundance and material gain, that you're working on that ability now. And that's beautiful. I think that's absolutely beautiful, and that's present for you. So yeah, you know, you've got a lot of, this week is supercharging you towards connecting into your own inner sense of passions and drive, your own dreams. What do you want to do in life? Where are you in life? What is this life for you? And just tuning right into that. And then that's also tuning into your own sense of abundance. Like, how can I use this to make my life abundant? And abundance, like I said, it doesn't just have to mean money. It means stability. It means peace, in a sense of the material world, being in a calm space, clearing out any kind of clutter, like being in your own comforting, loving center, really, and kind of tuning back into that. And it's going to come from going within. You know, you're really being encouraged to maybe take a break from other people this week a little bit and really tune into you and really tune in and see those things, you know, and that'll help you let go of any kind of sense of anxiety that you might be holding on to, because you'll be able to transform that with this temperance energy here into something new. Now we've got from your oracle cards, we've got a couple of these, and then, yeah, that'll be your reading. First up, we've got from the Wild Unknown Tarot, which I know is a tarot deck, but I read this too for the symbols on it, so that's why I've kind of put it with the oracle cards. We've got the Four of Wands here, which it tends to be this like homecoming card. Generally, it's like coming home. But with you, what I'm getting is this kind of sunrise peeking through a window, right? I'm getting, just because of this card, that, you know, as you tune within with that hermit energy, you're actually going to be tuning into, I'm getting almost like divine wisdom here, you know? It's just like you're tuning in, you're peering through a window into your own soul. I see that. And that opening, that window is it's going to pierce through any kind of blockages you might have, any kind of things that you're not quite seeing. And this almost looks like an eye as well. And you're just going to be tuned in to your own inner light, your own inner wisdom, your own inner guidance, and just seeing who you are and what makes you tick this week. And that's going to tune you into this energy of, what do I want in life? Where am I in life? What's happening in life? And it's going to supercharge you moving forward with that. Next up, we have from the Fairytale Lenormand. I read these more as symbols and less as Lenormand meanings. We've got clouds. Okay, so you see how there's this beautiful sun cloud that's blowing away any of the dark rain clouds. So I see that for you. I see that as you tune in this week, as you go within to your own inner light and own inner being, you know, your own tuning into your higher self and your own inner sense of guidance. You're going to blow away any of this anxiety that you've been feeling. You're going to blow away any kind of harsh thoughts you may be feeling for yourself and feeling in life. You're blowing those all away and connecting back into this sense of inner, you know, peace. And maybe that means taking some time and like cloud gazing, you know. That's what clouds can mean for me too, is like, take some time to just lay in the grass and look at the clouds this week. Give yourself breaks too, you know, as you do this hermit energy, you know, tuning within. It's really kind of all about letting your mind go and just relaxing. And so maybe really kind of opening yourself up to a period of relaxing and just kind of letting your imagination wander this week could really help you as well. Final two cards are from the Shamanic Healing Oracle, which I like to read from the book too, so you get somebody else's perspective. So we'll read these cards and I'll read from the book as well. First up, we've got duality. Okay, yeah, you know, with the sense of balance and those opposite forces of the Two of Cups that I was talking about, duality kind of really tunes into that. It's this idea that there's not just good and there's bad, you know, or black and white. It's this like, that there's actually two sides of the same coin, that there's this actual like connection between two opposing energies that don't have to be, that you don't have to keep following into that dualistic idea of things, that things can be more complicated and that's okay. Black and white, good and evil, yes and no, up and down, and want, don't want. These are all examples of dualistic thinking. What if you banned these labels from your thoughts for a day? What would happen? Would the world end? This is really tuning into this temperance energy as well, of making lemons out of lemonade, not viewing all of the things in your life as bad, but kind of like transforming those definitions. Would the world end? Doubtful. Would some person get away with something? No. Would you attach less emotion to a bad situation or drama? Possibly. If that happened and there was less attachment to a situation, you could keep your vibrations higher, which would enable you to deal more successfully with any situation that comes your way. Given enough time, most bad situations work out in the end. It is your choice to be drama-free, to spend a lot of time and energy wasted on a situation that will turn out to be okay in the end. It is your choice to be drama-free or spend a lot of time and energy wasted on a situation that would turn out in the end. What do you choose? Yeah, okay, sorry, I read that wrong at the end. But basically, it's this idea of, yeah, you know, where do you want to focus? Where do you want to focus your energy? Because what you focus on is what you bring into your life, and it's what you continue in your life. So do you want to tune in to your own intuition and your own passions and drives and dreams and come up with an ability to bring those into the material world for yourself? Or do you want to be stuck in the pain still and just stuck in the drama, stuck in the anxiety, stuck in those fears? And it's up to you to tune in to find out how to transform those, to shift your perspective, that you have a perspective shift available to you. Always remember that you can shift your perspective, that there are ways to do that. Final card we have from the Shamanic Healing Oracle is Abundance. Oh my gosh. There you go. Abundance is coming in for your life for you. You know, you have it so many times in here. That is beautiful. Let's read from the book. That's so cool. That's so cool. Abundance takes on many forms: material possessions, friendships, excellent health, emotional stability, unique experiences. When you lock yourself into a narrow view on what defines abundance, you lose on the whole picture of what it could mean. Open yourself up to as many forms of wealth and abundance that are possible and watch your blessings multiply. Always remember that focusing on what you do not have is a surefire way to feed the energy and make that your truth. Yep, remember I was just talking about that exact same thing. What you focus on is what you bring into your life. Always remember that focusing on what you do not have is a surefire way to feed the energy and make that your truth. Every day, watch for signs of abundance from the universe. Acknowledge and be thankful, thus encouraging the continued flow of energy. Remember, the universe will always provide you with what you need. So there you go. That's your reading for you. I think that was beautiful. Thank you so much for tuning in, pile number 2. Let me know in the comments what you think either way. I love to hear your guys' thoughts. It's really great to hear from you. If you want to get a more detailed personal reading, because this is very general, I can get super specific for you and your situation and what's going on. So feel free to check out my website, www.junodrome.com. I have 2 different reading options available for you. So tune into that. And I'd like to take the time right now to deeply, deeply thank all of my new YouTube subscribers and to thank all of my old subscribers for tuning in with me all this time. I'm so, so deeply excited and thrilled to see this channel catching on and to see people starting to tune in. I'm so excited to continue to bring you new stuff. So keep checking in with me. Like I've said in some of my other videos, if there's ever any topics you'd like to see covered in my quick videos, please feel free to leave a comment of that. I've already gotten some comments from some people, and I'm ready to implement those videos into this week. So I'm so excited for that. So I'd love to hear from you, hear with what you'd like to hear from me. And yeah, if you'd like some other ways to support me, I'm starting to work on those. So stay tuned for those throughout this week. I'm going to start dropping some new things I've got in the works. So I'm super excited to continue all of this. And yeah, let me know either way. Please subscribe to the channel. It really helps as I'm growing this. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, pile number 2. Catch you later. Hi, pile number 3. Welcome to your weekly check-in. I'm super excited to get into the energies that you are going to be moving through this week. What is your week coming up here? Well, what's life for you right now? So first up, you picked the pile with this cool little stone here that is over there now. So bye, stone. I think that it's some kind of petrified wood. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So, first up, we've got from your runes. Let's see what you got for the rune this week. You have Burkina, which literally translates into birth or birch and birth. It's a bit of both. Some alliteration for you. A bit of both, birch and birth. Yeah, this rune's talking all about like rebirth, and but it's this kind of like mothering energy. It's this divine feminine mom kind of thing, you know, like tuning into your own self-love and being your own mom, you know, like really kind of giving yourself that kind of mothering, compassionate, loving energy this week. And it's going to be bringing in some comforting new energy for you. Yeah, so we'll put that aside. And I've got a bunch of oracle cards and a bunch of tarot cards for you. So we're going to start with the tarot and we'll do the oracle after. First up, from the traditional Rider Waite Smith deck, you have the Queen of Cups, which is literally what I was just talking about. That is crazy. This card is probably, yeah, one of the biggest connections to the Burkina rune. It's pretty much the card equivalent of that, in my opinion, because the Queen of Cups is the most nurturing and loving of all of the cups, of all of the royal cards. The cups are all about emotions. They're about love. They're about inner contentment, peace, and so it's kind of connecting into this energy of connecting into your own self-love and mothering, nurturing energy, and that's helping bringing you into this new period that's opening up to yourself. Next up, we have the Four of Swords. Okay, which is encouraging you to take some rest and some time for break. Oh, I'm having trouble speaking from this, so maybe you've got some throat chakra stuff going on. I'm not sure. We'll figure that out. But I'm getting this sense now that this week it's going to be really important for you to take some time to rest, to take a break, to whatever you're working on, let it go for a minute, let go of any supposed to's, let go of any things that you feel you have to do, and just tune into your own inner love and your own sense of self-love. I think that's going to be really important, and it's going to help you move out of maybe any kind of energy you might be in. Maybe you're in kind of a difficult time right now, and you're being encouraged to really nurture yourself right now, to really tune into your own inner light. You know, maybe it's a good time to do some inner child work and just sit with yourself, be with your inner child, and sleep more. Are you getting enough sleep? You know, be your own mom. Are you getting enough water? Are you getting enough food? Are you getting enough sleep? Are you getting exercise? Are you taking care of yourself? Are you showering? You know, all of this kind of stuff. Like, are you cleaning up after yourself? Are you picking up your space so that you feel better? Really kind of tune in this week. Tune into your own comforting energy. Regardless of what's happening in the world or in your life or in your situation, you're really being encouraged to just come back to a sense of calm, come back to a sense of inner peace. And that might mean letting a few things go. That might mean you can't achieve as much as you want to achieve this week, and that's okay. You know, that's okay. You can take breaks, you can take breathers, that you're really being encouraged to do that this week. Let's look at the next card. We've got the Three of Wands, which is talking about ships coming in or ready to go off and journey, right? So I think that maybe you're feeling ready to move on from a situation in your life. You're feeling ready to move into something new. You're feeling ready to journey off into a new adventure. And like I said, you have this new beginnings card coming in. So maybe you've got that new adventure is starting to come in for yourself. But this week isn't about going off into that journey. This week is about slowing down, tuning within, finding what you need for yourself. Really tune in to your own sense of self-love this week and your own sense of inner nurturing and love, and that's going to help you bring in this new cycle. That maybe this week is about imagining your future. It's about imagining where you want to go next. You know, we can't really travel right now as much as we'd like with COVID going on. So maybe this is about dreaming what your next dream vacation is while you take break. You know, while you rest, you take a little mind vacation, you know, and imagine what's possible for your future. Imagine what you can do in the future. You know, and it doesn't mean not being in the present, right? Because all we have is this moment. So, but coming up with a plan of action for how you want to move forward through rest, through nurturing, and really, really prioritize sleep this week. Prioritize resting, prioritize nurturing yourself. Bring yourself back to full healing, because that's going to make it easier for you to go out and try to tackle some things next week, you know, as you move forward. But by giving yourself that rest, you give yourself the ability to regenerate and to recoup your energy. Next up, we have from the IJJ Swiss deck, one of my favorite decks. We've got the 7 of Cups. The 7 of Cups can talk about having lots of choices. In the Raider Waite Smith deck, it's depicted as a man who's dreaming all of these cups with lots of ideas. So, you know, it tends to mean, it can mean a couple things. It can mean being indecisive sometimes, but ultimately, I think for your reading and how I'm feeling this reading coming out, it really kind of is indicating to me that you have this idea, like I was just saying, of imagining possibilities. You have so many possibilities open as you move forward, as you move into this adventure energy into the future. And so this week is about imagining those possibilities. Really open your mind and your perspective up to the infinite possibility that's present for you. And that, you know, you have the ability to make whatever you want in life happen. But in order to do that, you got to know what you want. So this week is all about tuning inside and imagining many outcomes for yourself, imagining many possibilities. And say, is this what I want? Let me imagine it. Let me imagine me being in that situation. And how does that make me feel? With my own sense of self-love, tuning into my heart and more into my heart space, is that connecting me to my highest ideals and my highest desires for my life and myself, or not? And if not, that's okay. I can let that idea go and look at a different one, consider another idea. So you're just kind of being encouraged to imagine possibilities for yourself. Next up, we have Judgment. All right, so Judgment, it talks about like it's another rebirth card, a renewal, but this renewal comes from examining your past circumstances and being open to changing your perspective to move forward in life. And so as you take a rest here and you start imagining your future for yourself, also look back on the past and see where you've come, see how far you've come, see what's changed in life, see where you've learned lessons. Start changing your perspective from anything that may have been painful in the past and start seeing it from, what lessons have I gained from this? What do I know now? How am I changed now? What's up in my life now that's different from then? And really kind of tuning back into that energy. Next up, final card from this deck, you have the Emperor. Yeah, which is like this very strong, solid, it's the divine masculine energy, which is kind of this go-getter, go out and make things happen kind of an energy. And I really feel that with this 3 of Wands here too. I think that you really want to do that. You've got that kind of go-getter spirit to yourself. And so I think with the rest here and the self-love coming in, you know, it's just really encouraging you. As I know you want to go out and try to push and make things happen, but this week it's really important for you to just take a step back and to reflect, and that you'll be ready to go even stronger next week if you take the time this week to really reflect and tune into your sense of self. Take this break, use this Emperor energy of, like, you know, the Emperor is all about, you know, he's controlling of his empire. He's running an entire operation of an empire. So you're like, you know, talk about management. You're in this like super manager energy, right? Use that energy to rest. Like, use that energy to say, okay, how can I give myself the most spa-inducing, relaxing, most beautiful resting week I can possibly give myself? And really give that to yourself this week. Really do. Next up, we've got from the Hermetic Tarot. This deck I don't use too often, but I'm using my hand-drawn deck for another project right now. So I'm just using this, and we'll tune into the symbols. First up, we've got the Five of Cups, which is kind of like this idea that, you know, it talks about this in the traditional Rider Waite Smith deck. It's depicted as these 3 cups that have fallen over, and that this man is crying over those 3 cups. And it talks about loss. It's about losing things. And the thing about it, though, is that there's still 2 cups remaining behind that person. And it's kind of like this idea that, you know, that we've lost things in our past, and that they're really painful, and that pain it's never good, right? It's not like it's, oh, thank God I got all this pain, right? You know, that's never real for anybody. Like, pain hurts no matter who you are or what your situation is. But with the 2 cups remaining in the background, it's reminding you to learn how to change your perspective, to see, okay, I've lost these things. What has that taught me? And what do I have left in my life? What's remaining now? And how can I cherish the things that are present in my life remaining even more? And how can I use that cherishment energy to help me move forward with my life? So it's really kind of encouraging you to take those steps. And then some extra dimension here, we've got lily pads here, which reminds me of lotuses and lotus flowers. And the lotus flower is a symbol of growing out of the muck. It's this beautiful, beautiful flower that has come out of the muck and the mire that exists in the world, and it's bloomed into this beautiful, beautiful flower. So it's really kind of talking about this idea that out of these muck situations, these hard, gross situations, can bloom and blossom this absolutely beautiful, complex, wonderful flower for yourself. Next up from the Hermetic Tarot, we have the Three of Wands, which talks about this idea that we had it here. Yeah, Three of Wands. You have it twice. So whenever something comes up twice in the deck, or in a reading, it really kind of encourages you to that's the main takeaway from this reading, is that card. So it's this idea that your ships are coming in, that you're ready to go off and journey into the sunset. You're ready to go off and journey into this new mode, this new being. And with the Burkina here, it is a rebirth. It is a new beginning, but it's coming from a sense of self-love. And with this extra dimension on this card, it's called the Lord of Established Strength. So you're establishing your own inner strength, and it's coming from tuning into who you are. And maybe you've lost some things in the past, but remember, you've got those 2 cups remaining in your life. You've got 2 things remaining for you. As you move forward with this, with your new beginning and your new journey, after you heal yourself, you really take the time to reflect and to rest this week, and to heal. And as you do that, as you move forward, you're going to be way more sure of yourself. You're going to be way more connected to your own inner power and your own inner guidance and your own inner wisdom. And that's going to bring you to the places that you want to go in life, because you're so much stronger now from whatever's happened in the past. And I get the feeling from this card, from this whole pile, that you may have been through some really challenging and difficult things in your past. And it might not have been all that long ago, but you're being encouraged to really give yourself the time and the space to heal, and to really give yourself this time to tune into self-love, to love yourself regardless of what's happened, and to nurture yourself, to comfort yourself, to pamper yourself this week. Give yourself this rest. And then that rest is going to give you some time to reflect on the past. And then that reflection is going to help you transform your consciousness into a new rebirth phase that's present and coming for you. Next up from the Hermetic Tarot, we have the Emperor. Wow, we've got the Emperor twice too. So remember what I was just saying about 2 cards together. That's incredible. So, you know, the extra card here is, it says Son of the Morning. So you've got like this masculine sun energy, morning time. Morning is the dawn of a new day. You've got that dawn of a new day coming in. And, you know, you're in control of your life. You know, you have the reins. The reins are yours. You're being encouraged to take the reins of your life after you let yourself heal. So rest, deeply rest, and then you're going to be way more ready to dive out and jump out into whatever life has coming for you next. Final card we've got is the Ace of Swords, which talks about that new perspective. The aces are a new beginning. They're the new start to a journey, and the swords are all about the mental body and the mental sphere. So it really talks about this idea of coming into a new way of seeing life and seeing the world and transforming your perspective, transforming your situation and your life and your energy and all of that into whatever life means for you now, moving forward with your life with a sense of inner peace and inner calm, coming from transforming how you see your situation. With the Judgment card here, is transforming your past literally in your mind by seeing things from a higher perspective, from a different perspective, from not seeing things as just this was really good and this was really bad and oh my gosh and oh my gosh, to this newer sense of things happen in life. Things happen, situations happen. Sometimes they're out of our control. What has the situation given me? What has the situation taught me? What is different in my life now because of that? What is now improved in my life because of this situation? Even if it was a bad situation, what's happened now? What have I been able to let go of because of the situation that maybe I needed to let go of before? So you have all of that kind of coming in for you. Next up, we're going to do your oracle cards. You've got two of the Wild Unknown Tarot. So it's actually more tarot, but I read these two with more symbolism from the cards as well. You've got the Mother of Wands, which is the Queen of Wands. And so you've got another queen energy, more of that nurturing, but she's all about her passions and her drive. She's like the power manifester. She goes out and she makes things happen. But with the snake here as well, with the wands having the snake imagery is all about this idea of like the Kundalini force, which is this idea that we all have this kind of creative energy that's kind of connected, it's coiled up in the base of our spine, and that as we work with the energy centers in our body, we can move that energy up from our root chakra and our sacral chakra. The sacral is where that Kundalini force lives. We can move that energy up through our body so that it clears out our energy channel, so that we're a clear channel and connecting into our intuition, our higher self, anything from the divine, any of that upper stuff. You know, you've got that coming in, tuning in through your body, through and down and out, you know. So it's really kind of connecting into that sense of energy centers for yourself, and that creative force. And I think that by giving yourself the time and the space to rest, you'll be able to really tune in and connect to that energy and that creativity. And then you have the Hierophant, which is, you know, to me, the Hierophant is always talking about this idea of what has society told me I'm supposed to do? What has society told me is the right, correct way to do something, quote unquote, versus the bad way to do something, quote unquote? And how can I let go of those societal and family pressures and expectations to really tune back into who I am, what I want for me, what does life mean for me, tuning back into my own sense of self and letting go of anything that might be, you know, connecting me or holding me back. Letting myself be who I need to be and not what society wants and expects from me. And that by going through this resting and reflecting period, you'll be able to start letting go of some of those societal expectations and pressures of you and really tune back into your sense of self and your sense of who you are and what you want for you, with that Queen of Wands energy as well. Next card is from the Fairytale Lenormand. You got the Fox. So foxes are all about cunning, this like super cunning energy. And this fox, he looks like Robin Hood. So it's got this like Robin Hood connotation of that like take from the rich and give to the poor, right? It's kind of like this balance energy. So I get that sense from you as well of like, as you move forward, you know, there's this balance, this give and this take, you know, that's kind of coming in your life. And as you start to reprocess your past and moving into your future with the new things coming into your life, I think that you're going to be able to really kind of sense that by tuning into your own inner wisdom, your own inner balance is really kind of coming in for you right now. Finally, we have 2 cards from the Shamanic Healing Oracle. I'm going to read directly from the book from these so that you get somebody else's words, which I think can be really, really helpful in these types of readings. First up, you have healing energy. Yeah, that's exactly what I was tuning into with that Queen of Cups and that rest. You're really being asked to heal yourself right now, and that by doing that, you'll be able to go out tomorrow, or next week or next month or whatever, to really kind of double back and really kind of tune into your Emperor energy and this 3 of Wands and do what you want to do with your life. But in order to do that, you have to heal where you've been first. You have to heal where you are, which is totally fine. Slow down, give yourself this resting period, really heal yourself. And that'll make you able to go out even more the next day. Drawing this card guides you to work with energy on a healing level. Take a class, go and receive a Reiki healing. When I was talking about clearing out those energy centers, that Reiki really helps clear your energy. So maybe you're being encouraged to even look into Reiki healing, which is really helpful. Or just sit in meditation and concentrate on mindfulness. With the healing energy of divine love, you do not have to know how to do anything. Just sit quietly, set your intention, and let Creator's love fill you up. When you are living in the vibration of healing, you not only affect yourself, but those around you. Others then can connect with your energy, and their vibrations can raise as a result. There is no force to this. This is basically how energy works. Your vibrational charge will affect change in the ones you are close to. Alternatively, this card signifies healing is taking place within a relationship. Yeah, so, maybe you actually have your own healing energy available to you, yeah, I think that you're being encouraged to take some time and to heal yourself, to heal your energy, to come back into this rest so that you can charge yourself back up. I'm really getting that sense. You need to charge your batteries right now. You're being encouraged to do that. Final card we have from the Shamanic Healing Oracle is the Home card. This nice little homecoming energy. Let's read it from the book. Home. This card represents a homecoming of the soul, of finding your tribe, of coming home. The situation you are inquiring about has the potential to be a homecoming, a safe and secure place that both nourishes you and facilitates your growth, whether it be a school, a relationship, a job, or truly a home. Go for it. All paths lead home. Home doesn't have to be where you grew up. Family doesn't always mean the people of your birth family. Look at an expanded meaning. Family are people who share the same core values and path. Home can mean a place you have yet to visit or experience, but once there, it feeds your soul in a way that gives you no doubt that you are home. Alternatively, find your safe place. This is where the answers you seek will be found. Yeah, so I think as you do that, you're going to come back home to yourself. You're going to come back into the sense of home, and you're going to be ready to journey off and find other people who resonate with you. And it's just going to come from resting and healing first. But once you do that, it's coming back into home within yourself too. I really feel that for you. So that was my reading for you. Please let me know in the comments either way what you think of it. I love to hear from you. If you want something far more specific, because this was a bit of a general reading, I can get very, very specific for you and your situation and your energies in life right now. So feel free to go to my website, www.junodrome.com. I have 2 different options available, so check them out. I would love to give you one. Finally, thank you so much to all of my new YouTube subscribers, and thank you for all of my continued YouTube subscribers who continue to watch my videos. I'm so thankful and so excited to see this channel grow. I'm really ready and willing and excited to keep giving you more content and keep opening this up to the next level. So I'm so happy and ready and excited about all of it. So thank you so much. I deeply appreciate it. If you ever have any ideas or suggestions for me of themes that you'd like me to go over, topics you want me to cover in a quick reading, please let me know in the comments as well. I've already gotten some feedback from some people, and it's been really helpful for me, and I'm excited to give some more readings from that. So anyway, that was my reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day and a wonderful week, pile number 3. Thanks again. Catch you later. Hi there, pile number 4. Welcome to your reading. Thanks for joining with me today. You chose the pile with this black, I believe it's jet, this nice little stone here that I think is really kind. I can talk about all these black stones are all about kind of protection and psychic protection and kind of keeping yourself there, you know. So yeah, maybe some protection charms can be helpful for you this week. First up, we have your rune stone. So you chose the Hagalaz. Hagalaz is, it's connecting into this underworld energy, and it can talk about needing to do some shadow work or letting go of some things. It reminds me a lot of the Devil card in the tarot, and the Devil card in a lot of modern interpretations, a lot of people really love this card because it talks about liberation. So it's not just being stuck in like addictions and stuff like that now. It's also about liberating yourself from those things, liberating yourself from anything that's holding you back, freeing yourself from any shackles you may have been placing on yourself. And the Hagalaz card or rune really deeply connects to that same kind of energy. So let's continue and we'll see more. I'm going to put your oracle cards aside for now, and we're going to do the tarot first here. First up, we have some cards from the traditional Raider Waite Smith deck. First card you have is the 5 of Cups. So this talks about loss, losing something, being in a period of loss. So if you are kind of lost in some painful situations right now, I want you to know that I deeply empathize with you and that I'm here, you know, that I've been there myself. You know, this card symbolizes very much for me kind of the last chapter I went through with my life. It can be really difficult to lose things and be in this loss energy. And to be in pain is a hard thing, you know, to go through painful situations is challenging, and it kind of can leave us feeling hopeless sometimes, and really being lost, you know, and this is talking about loss and feeling lost in life. The thing about it, though, is that it also kind of indicates this perspective shift. And for me, because of that, this card really talks about spirituality in a way, in a symbolic sense that I don't really know of any other great way to do that, where it's like, spirituality to me is all about learning a perspective shift and starting to see the world in a different way. And this card really talks about that catalyst. So he's focusing on these 3 cups that have fallen over, and they are, you know, he's deeply sad and lost about that. And that's okay. You know, it's okay to feel that. And in fact, he needs to feel that. He needs to mourn those cups being lost first before he can do anything else. Because if he tries to ignore it or hide it or bury it, it doesn't go away. He's just holding on to it. And it's going to mess up everything in his life if he does that. In reality, once he can mourn and process that and take however long he needs to do that is okay. Behind him, he still has 2 cups left over. So he hasn't lost everything in his life. That not all things in life are gone for him. And in fact, now that he is going, once he can move on from these and turn around and see these, he actually is a little bit more clear about how he can move forward with his life moving forward now because of that. So, you know, it can be a really challenging and painful card, but I also think it's a deeply beautiful and moving card because of all of that. Next up from the Raider Waite Smith deck, you have the 3 of Pentacles. Wow, okay. This is about building new foundations, building strong foundations, and it can talk about coming together with others to make something happen, working together on a project with other people. But I think for you and how I tend to interpret this card, we'll see with more cards. It might be the coming together with others, definitely. But it's all about rebuilding your foundations. So after you've lost these 3 cups, now you can rebuild with these 3 pentacles and come into a new sense of being, a new sense of life for yourself with the stronger foundations. Whatever these cups were sitting on, they were unstable. Whatever was trying to be built in this situation, they couldn't maintain their strength because they were built maybe on sand, on a situation that didn't work, on an idea that wasn't right for you, or anything like that. And now, with these 2 cups remaining, once you can let go of this and process this and change your perspective, you actually have a clear pathway to build up something new from a deeply, deeply strong foundation, from a place of deep strength. And you can bring something into your life from this strength area. Next up, we have the Empress, who's encouraging you to tap into this loving, mothering energy. She's the divine feminine, but she's also kind of this mom energy. You know, she's drawn, she doesn't look too pregnant in this. In some of the decks she's drawn as pregnant. But she's just kind of like, she's so at peace with life and at tune with stuff, and she's ready to be nurturing and loving. So it's really kind of encouraging you to tune into a sense of self-love, to really be there for yourself as you're mourning whatever you've lost in life, as you're going through this loss period. Really be there for you. Tune into your own sense of love, to your own sense of peace and contentment for yourself. You know, give yourself little gifts now and then. Give yourself small acts of kindness, just to remind yourself that you're there for you, you know, that you're moving through life with yourself, and that you can make anything happen when you tune into that self-love energy. Next up, we have from the IJJ Swiss deck. First card is the Page of Wands. And the Page of Wands, pages are all about new starts. They're kind of like just starting off on the journey in the suit. And the Wands are all about passions and drive, and tuning into your own desires in life, what you want for yourself in life, what you want to make happen, how you want life to be for you. So you're really being encouraged as you move away from this loss energy and focusing on things that haven't worked out in your life. When you're building this new foundation, you're really being encouraged to ask yourself, what lights me up in life? What are my passions? What are my drives? What are my dreams and hopes for life? And how can I make those happen? As I build this new foundation for myself, as I work towards something new in my life, as I work towards something that's going to bring myself as much self-love and peace for myself as possible, I need to focus on, you need to focus on, or I use I for you. Let me focus on this idea that I can make my dreams occur in my life. I can follow my passions and my drive. And that by doing so, I am being kind to myself. I am loving myself enough. I love myself enough to follow my own hopes and dreams. I love myself enough to make something in my life happen. And so when you build this new foundation, it's going to be coming from a place of your own inner happiness, your own inner drive. It's going to be coming from a place of making something happen that you want in life. And we have the Knight of Swords. So the Knights are all about movement in the suit. They're the whatever movement's happening in the reading as well. It tends to be from the Knights cards, and because it's the swords are all about the mind and the mental body and the mental sphere. So you're having this movement occurring in your life in the mind, and it's like it's coming from this change of perspective. So what's moving you forward right now as you move out of this pain and loss energy, it's that change of perspective I was talking about that's coming into your life. You are changing actively your perspective and moving into something new, a new perspective for yourself. And that's going to come, like that change is happening. It's present for you. It's here right now. The final from the IJJ Swiss deck is the Page of Swords. Yeah, okay. So it's a new beginning in that new perspective as well. Like I said before, the pages are all about new starts. So you have another page here And this is the Page of Swords. So 2 swords energy. It's all about the mind. Really changing your perspective. Really learning how to see life in a new way. How to see your life specifically in a new way. How to see your past in a new way. How to reframe the situations that have occurred to you in a way that's going to help light you up and help you find your own life, you know, your own inner sense of peace and happiness and all of that. Next up we have from the Hermetic Tarot. I don't normally use this deck, but I'm using my hand-drawn deck for another project right now, so we're going to use it this week and see if it'll make a play in some other readings. First up we have the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups is very, very, very similar to the Empress in a lot of ways. It's that nurturing self-love energy as well. She's one of the most nurturing, kind, loving cards in the whole deck. And so you have that energy coming to you. You're really, really being encouraged to love yourself this week, to really tune into your own sense of self-love. You may want to check out pile number 4 because it had that sense of self-love as well, similar to it. But yours is a little bit different. You've got a little bit of other things going on. But you're really, really being concerned, being encouraged to love yourself, to really nurture yourself this week. Tune into that. Tune into your own sense of love and nurturing, you know, and liberate yourself from this pain. You know, just start to shift your perspective. Start to see things as lessons. You know, learn to see situations that have been painful in your past as not necessarily just awful things that have happened to you, but also that they, you know, they led you to different paths in life. They led you to where you are now. Learn how to practice gratitude. There's some wonderful gratitude meditations on YouTube. I really recommend some of them. The gratitude affirmations as well. They can really help shift your perspective a lot too, because it's really hard to be depressed and to experience gratitude at the same time. So by doing those kind of gratitude meditations, it really kind of moves you, at least for the moment, and sometimes that's all that it takes, is just moment after moment, moving you out of some of this depressive energy, moving you out of that and into a sense of well-being and love and happiness that can come from practicing gratitude. You know, it's true. Next up for the Hermetic Tarot, we've got the Universe, which is the world in the other decks. And, you know, the world's all about graduating. It's like moving into the next chapter of your life. So you're being encouraged to go on this journey, to change your perspective, to do this work. And that you're being reminded that that work will lead to something. That if you put in the work on yourself, if you do the work on yourself to improve yourself, to liberate yourself from any of this like negative energy or depression or, you know, anything that's like holding you back, when you put in the work, that work has results. That you can move yourself into this new perspective in this new situation, following your own passions, rebuilding your life from your own desires of drive, of passion, of what you want for you. You have the ability to do that. And that by putting in that work, you will see the results from it. You will actively see the results from your work if you're willing to do that work. Final card from the Hermetic Tarot is the Queen of Swords. Yeah, okay. So you got another queen as well, and more swords. So many swords energies. So not only is it a change of perspective, but the Queen of Swords to me always talks about meditation as well. Because in the Raider Waite Smith deck, she's drawn as having this kind of frills on her sleeves that actually to me look like a mala, which is the Buddhist and Hindu prayer necklace. And the malas are kind of a tool for meditation. You don't need a mala to meditate, but I kind of tune that into meditation for myself. So with the Queen of Swords, she's encouraging you to take the time to go within, to let go of some things, to meditate, really give yourself time and space to do that. And that could even be doing some guided meditations on YouTube. It could be, you know, putting on your favorite music and dancing around your living room, you know, that could be meditation sometimes even, you know, so there's a lot of things open to you. But really kind of doing that work, doing that inner work is really, really going to help you move out of some of this energy that you're stuck in. Finally, we have from the Oracle cards, first up we have from the Wild Unknown Tarot, we've got the Five of Wands. Okay, look at that. So the Five of Wands is all about this. It's kind of like, it's this struggle card, right? It's like a stalemate. It's in the Rider Waite Smith deck. It's all of these people that are fighting with each other, and they're all kind of locked in this battle, and because of that they're in a stalemate, and none of them can move forward because they're fighting each other. And so I tend to take this to mean that internally, and I think this is more of an internal thing, you're kind of at a stalemate inside of all of these opposing forces within you. And so in order to move out of that, you like I was saying before, you're encouraged to meditate, and all of these things that I've been talking about of moving out of it, trying to deeply do the work on yourself, really go within and start to look at, what's going on in my life, what's happening in my life, and maybe you might need help too. And I want to let you know that it's never a bad thing to ask for help. It's never a bad thing to go out and search help for healing. And in fact, a lot of times healing, especially emotional and mental healing, can come in so much easier and faster when we go out and we find the tools that we might not have on our own. We go out and we ask for help, that help could be anything. It could mean doing private readings with somebody if you're really, really into tarot, and I do them, but it's not just me, there are many out there. But it could also mean something far more traditional, like actual counseling. And honestly, counseling is so helpful. I've been to counseling. I've gotten psychologist services before, and it's so helpful because they just have the tools at their disposal to help you quickly move through some things. They can guide you. All that they do, they don't force anything on you, like if you're super into the esoteric stuff and you're into the mystical and you're into magic and you're into all of this like I am, you don't even have to get into that to heal some of this pain with a psychologist or a counselor. You don't have to talk about any of that stuff. And you can find counselors who are more open and receptive to that kind of thing as well. They're out there. There really are. It's just that these tools are available to help you navigate some of the inner challenges that you might be encountering, and they'll just have better tools at their disposal to direct you exactly how you need to move through things. So I don't mean to get off on a tangent on that, but I'm just reminding you that that kind of help is always available to you. Next up, we have from the Fairytale Lenormand, we've got the Coffin, which is the Death card. I always think of it as both the Death card and the Four of Swords, so it can be either or. So I do think, death is just transformation. It's not scary. It just means change. So I think that you have change coming into your life, but I think also you're being encouraged to rest and to heal. So maybe you really should check out pile number 3, because pile number 3 was all about resting and kind of similar energy. So you're really being encouraged to take some time to take rest, to really recoup your energy. And that's okay. It's okay to rest. It's okay to sleep. It's okay to really take the time to do that. And you're kind of being encouraged to take that time. Finally, we have 2 cards from the Shamanic Healing Oracle, which I'm going to read directly from the book as well, because I really like the words written in that book. We've got self-love. Wasn't I talking about that? I was just talking about that. Really tune into your own self-love, friend. That's going to help you through so much. Really nurture yourself. Really, really do, because it's so important. Let me read from the book. We always try to think so highly of the ones we love. We even give strangers the benefit of the doubt. But when it comes to self-love, many of us fall woefully short. To love oneself is to accept imperfection. Embrace learning and battle through the all-consuming fires of self-doubt in order to find the energetic balance inside each of us. Be aware of the small, insidious voice that perhaps repeats the negative self-assessment you had as a child. Maybe an ex-lover or friend put a label on you that you've accepted. These self-judgments have no place in a whole, healthy relationship that is vital to have with yourself. It's only when you find your love for yourself that you can sincerely offer love to others. Yeah, so there you go. You're definitely being encouraged to love yourself. And that honestly, I felt this for myself, and it might seem silly or unrealistic, but honestly, building yourself a foundation of self-love, like we talked about building new foundations. If you start that foundation of self-love, you can build anything on top of that. If you love yourself first at the end of the day, you can make anything in life happen. But if you don't love yourself, if you don't believe in yourself, if you don't believe that you can do stuff, if you're not nurturing yourself, if you're not protecting yourself, then nobody else is necessarily going to do that either, you know? So you can't do anything else in life if you don't build it from this foundation of love for yourself first. That will give you the peace to move forward with your life as you move forward through situations, as you move forward through time. Building yourself from this foundation of self-love is really, really, really going to help you out. Final card we have from the Shamanic Healing Oracle is struggle. Yeah, okay, so it's letting go of a struggle energy. Let me read that. Struggle is a part of this life. So much so that you probably know people who seem to constantly attract one struggle after another into their lives. This is their comfort zone. While struggle is natural, it is natural only so far as it lends itself to learning lessons and overcoming interpersonal challenges. Beneath every one of these struggles is the gift of enlightenment, the satisfaction of a lesson learned. Use this knowledge as the light at the end of your dark tunnel. What lesson is this struggle teaching you? Alternatively, after a brief setback, the situation will start to right itself. So yeah, I think, just make sure that you're tuning into this perspective shift that's coming in, letting go of the struggle energy, letting go of the pain, liberating yourself from any setbacks you might have with that Hagalaz underworld energy, and doing the shadow work. Look up shadow work. It's hard work sometimes, but I have a reading on my channel of what does your shadow self want to tell you. Maybe that might help you in this situation as well. But just like really kind of tuning into what needs to change inside, where you need to grow, what you need to move through, and do it from a place of compassion for yourself, of love for yourself. That it's good to love yourself. It's okay. You're being encouraged to do that. So anyway, that was my reading for you, pile number 4. I hope that it resonates. Let me know in the comments either way how you feel about it. I'd love to hear from you. If you want a more detailed personal reading, because this was pretty general, I can get super, super specific in my private readings. So feel free to go to my website, www.junodrome.com. I've got a couple of options available on there, so feel free to choose from those. I'd like to take the time to deeply, deeply thank all of my new YouTube subscribers and all of the people who've been joining me from the beginning. I'm so excited to see this channel grow, and it just makes me so happy to watch that happen. So thank you, everybody. Please subscribe to the channel for more content. And I would love to hear from you in the comments if you ever have any suggestions on topics that you'd like me to cover in a quick reading. I've already got some from some people, and I'm going to be using those in the future, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks again. See ya.